So in order to set up QuickBooks Desktop, we need to check a few things first. So I'm going to go into the settings, open up QuickBooks Desktop, and in here we have a few things. So first of all, we need to see if the print shop collect taxes on QuickBooks or not. If they don't, so leave those two checkboxes off. And if they do uh, collect taxes, we can always only sync the invoices that have a tax code correctly set up under the invoices or not. I think on by default, enable taxes should be on, and I don't think this is a requirement by default. So another thing is to check the account name, tax agency, and income account name. The account name comes into place if when they go, I have my QuickBooks Desktop open up here. So if they use multiple accounts for their invoices, we need to get the name of the account that is being used to link the invoice to. So in this case, if I want to use the new income receivable, I would just put the name in here. The tax agency, this only comes into place if the print shop collects taxes on their QuickBooks. So if I go into File Preferences, Edit Preferences, and then we have the Sales Task. Under Company Preferences, I have here, do you charge taxes, yes or no? So if this is enabled, then we have the Sales Tax item. And for that, we have the tax agency. So if they do have specific agents, if they do collect tax, we need to know the tax agency that's going to be used when creating new taxes in QuickBooks Desktop. So this will be the default tax agency, and I just need to grab the name and place it over here. And then lastly, we have income account name. And this will be the account that new products are going to be created to. So if I open up my items and services, you can see there are a lot of them here. And then we have the account here. So in the account, we can see a lot of them. They are created into the sales account. So if I go close this and open up my chart of accounts, then we have the type and we have my income accounts in here. So we need to select one of the accounts to be the default one that InfoFlo is going to use. So in this case, I want sales to be my default account. So I'm place it the name right here. With everything with those settings set up, we are able to generate an API connection. We should just click on this button, generate API key, and a new API would be created. This is our secure key that allows secure connection between InfoFlo Pay and QuickBooks Desktop. After everything is set up, I just click Save and Download, and this will download the QuickBooks Web Connection file, which I'm going to place on my desktop. After downloading the QuickBooks Web Connector file, we're going to go and open up the application here. So we're going to just look for Web Connector, and this is the application that we need. On the current date, the Web Connector most up-to-date version is 2.3.0.215. So when I open up this application, I will click on Add an Application button, and I'll look for the file that I just downloaded. It's on my desktop. Okay, so I'm gonna open up that file, and this is gonna present me a certification pop-up that is telling me that InfoFlo Pay wants to access my QuickBooks connection. I'm going to click OK for this. And now we have the QuickBooks application correctly added to my web connector. The password here, we don't use this because we have a shared API key. So the password here, this is never used, but it is required on QuickBooks Desktop. So you can just type it in any text or number. I can just place 1, 2, 3, 4, and when I hit enter, it asks me if I want to save this. I'm gonna save, and then now every time that I want to do my import, I just need to select the application and click update selected. That will start what we call as an interactive mode. It's gonna ask me if I want to open up my browser to start the interactive mode. So I'm gonna click yes. And then on my browser, I will be able to see all of the invoices. These are the recent invoices that are created in the system. I can search them by invoice number, company, or contact. So for example, let's focus on this test company over here. I'm gonna search for it. So I have 72 invoices that are created for this company. I can quickly search for paid and production completed invoices. So in this case, we only have two. I'm going to go ahead and sync those two invoices. So I'm going to click to select all of them, and then I'm going to hit finish and sync. And now those two invoices, they are marked as synced. If I go back, this page is now closed. It now has now ended, and it won't do anything more. So I can just close this tab over here, and then we can go back to QuickBooks Web Connector, and it takes around 2 minutes for this interactive mode to finish its process. So I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna pause the video now and continue when this is finished. So after this process is finished, let's go to QuickBooks Online. I'll go open up my customer list and look for the customer that we used. You can see here those two invoices were imported and also the payments attached to them.